squat 5 years. Oh man, my legs are way different lengths. Fine. My legs are I can do it. Yeah, he's been coming. He was out of town a little bit last week, and then he didn't get back till late last time he was on a trip. I thought he was going to come. He texted me he didn't think he was, but he was texting me, and I was like, bro, you're away. Come on. Then I got home at like, his kids go to school today? Yeah, but he was on a trip without his kids. So. Oh, okay. Stephanie gone for work again? Not a lot. She got those clothes from tell Mike. Okay, we come up here and we'll work on that stall drill, and then we will work on something. Okay, so I'll get right circle up.
take main position. It's fine. They're stopping me from doing some things, but I can still do other things, right? And if they don't change the curvature of their spine, I can take away different spine, right? So most people I've ever trained with or met only understand or teach the sprawl as a curving line, right? Okay, so what the second part of the rounded spine, I see people do after like a snap down, right? It's just like that's the sort of, but that's what the sprawl. Okay, so the sprawl has some main components. It's just like when we're maintaining base and putting weight in the balls of our feet, right? I'm not leading with those hips, so they're going to be driving out of like that, but it's very much that leaning forward posture. Okay. Then they want to either shackle your legs together or pick a leg up. Okay. So if your legs get too close, they can shackle. They can go. Right. So our legs need to go straight, apart, and back like this. As we lean forward. If you have a bent leg, they can flare. Go apart, they can shackle. Right? When you do all that, and you have the curved spine, you're moving back, your legs are straight, you look up, that's going to help you with your hip engagement. You will beat them on their double leg takedown if you can maintain those basic moves. However, if that's all you do, they can still do things on bottom after you reach that point. So you would need to change your posture. We're just going to start this from okay, like this. So start walking back, up, do things like that. Right? Maybe I could reposture it and sit or whatever. Okay? So that's what we're working on. Let me use you on this one. So you start, I'm starting to go. Okay. So look, it's not that you won't use your hands. You could use them right here. The more on this, his hands on this side. So I could go hand here and here. But it's not, your hands are not going to be. Look, if my legs are bent, pick that one up. You can do that. If they're straight, very hard to do that. Right here. That's the second part right there. I get my hips up. My hands are free. I can block your head and your elbow. And clock around here. Or you can sit through and step over. Here's the thing, watch this. Get right down. Grab my leg. Yes, okay. Grab my leg. My hands are free to do that. No, you can't grab my leg. Also, through my shoulder. And that makes his elbows heavy. So when he does try to do this, I can block it with my hand. But also, he's like, there's weight there. Okay? Look, you can start from a shot, you can start on the ground. I've been in trainings where we were starting finishing the double from the knees like that, and where we were starting the sprawl from the knees. Right? So just get double. Look at my posture. It's bent. That's that curved spine. My hips are engaged. I'm going forward and away here. I can be mobile with my feet. And grapple hands, I can choke. I can sit through. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. Let's do that one too. Salamander. Good to see you. Yeah, that's it. Good.
Well, then you do it like my grandma control inside. Can you grab a leg rock? Yeah. It looks like you're too high. You're like, yeah, you're like kind of like, you look like you were kind of like here. Yeah. It felt like he was more like here on me. So then
Get your hips a little more downward with your back.
there.
Watch it. Look how.
Yeah.
It gives me freedom here. I can be here. Just checking hands. He may not try to do anything, but if he does, like you feel, right? Driving through your back.
Yeah, so, sorry, Rock, you're gonna, no, it's fine. Sorry. So there, does that feel similar? Yeah. He's controlling. Because you want to know your weight in the arms. Yeah.
Walk your feet back a little closer and get your hips up more. There you go. That's it.
Yeah. Cal? Come on. I could try it. So, he's a little lower, like more than the shoulder, like the other. Like toward my hands. There you go. You grab my legs.
Did that look like it? Was up on?
Yeah. It felt way better.
Right.
A little more, and like it's not like this. Just a little more like that. Just an upward gaze. Just like if somebody's telling you to squat.
Oh, yeah.
Or like deadlift. It's just kind of like that. Like in like a slight upward gaze. Like when Hickson was having this lift from the side clinch, he was having us go. Our hips are out above or
Forward of your toes.
yeah. But he was having us actually like. But that's because of like look, I'm doing that. Widen those feet in the back and away.
Yeah.
Is that your elbows feel heavy right now?
No.
No?
No.
You're considered his neck. Is it on his shoulder?
There it is.
Yeah.
Now there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like either side or right. Yeah, really crawl.
You're like on my neck. I can pick my elbows up and go like this.
Walk yeah. Walk your feet. Yeah. Okay. Hey guys, watch out. Come here real quick. Passing to the side.
Okay. So look, my shoulder is on his shoulder. Alright? Here. That way we don't want to. I'm not really disconnected get past his elbow. But if he does try and grab, look how I'm jamming you. Right? And then look, I set through, step over. Or
either way, you gotta, your hands have to be free to check hands or hand fight, or like all. We were talking about controlling the back with the hooks. Knee on belly, we're not controlling with our hands. Side control. We don't like to hold you because we can't attack. Right? Choke entries. Dark anacondas, etc. Alright, so just start on the ground in that rounded downward posture and practice just going to the side. That's all we're doing. Practice going to the side. 1, 2. What were you still?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really good.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, which challenge you make run? Those workouts that make you have to run, that's right.
Kind of off, got off balance.
Just like right at it.
Feel like the thigh.
Yeah, well,
Is that cross?
he doesn't want to go to sleep.
Butt higher, butt higher. There. Take your left hand. Go thumb down. On the inside, all the way on the inside of the side. And heel side. It's always something easy.
That was so much better. I didn't see you do it. Well, it's like when you were adjusting your positioning before. Once you get the position down, then it's like, oh, now I can, my hands are free. And you, like, sure, when you get the hips up. If the hips are too low, you're not as mobile, right? So, like, I like the hips up, I like the feet up under the hips. Like, still, and you, again, like that, you can't reach my leg.
Yeah, when you jammed it in there, that was like.
Okay. Time.
It's about breaking them over, hitting them back.
Yes. Well, you know, I anymore pull them over to side control all the time. If you're tied, turtled up, I won't try and take the back. Or a lot of people get to the side and then they just like waited too long to take the back.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's just a better strategy in those instances. All right. Okay, so let's on Kesa. Okay, we're gonna start off with just a couple of escape ideas, and then after we'll see stuff at the top. Okay. You know, so some ways to think like around the head the traditional way. For the person on top, it's kind of an endpoint, right? So if you can escape, great. Endpoint meaning there are no clean, fluid transitions to any other positions with words and steps from Kesa to somewhere else. It's not like they can take your back or go to mount. Once you're around their head, you got to stop them from getting their head out, right? That's one of it. So it's like they could take your back. They have a lot more positional advancements from bottom than you do from top. You got a bunch of submissions, right? Maybe right? So let's look at this. I just want you just to drill this concept by itself and then start adding it. Everybody's under test and this person knows how to do it. They end up suffering a little bit, right? So like, I just do it. He's got my arm in, okay, and I'm feeling a little pressure, right? My right side, okay. Now, go ahead and just like while I'm talking, you can tell he's having my voice is affected. Good. Okay. So and I feel the focal point of that. It's about that big. It's that pressure going down and squashing my rib cage. If I can alleviate that first, I'm going to be able to do a lot more work. Okay? But so you hear me, just keep it there. See right there, that's pretty visible. And now right, so what I'm going to do, now it's not visible. Or I can cross legs. Okay, do that again. That's going to be like the setup. All right? Precursor to that is like a hip shuffle movement. Right? Here's the thing, it's just like every time I do, I have to add a little enhancement. Sometimes you'll get it so good that you don't have to do anything. Right? I used to move on a few times Sunday there. Chris Burns shows this. Right? If you time it, we want everybody to feel like, okay, you heard my voice and my change is went back to normal. Then it's here. You just have to deal with their upper body mass at that point. So that may be a little bit of a cross face or me pushing your face away as I come up. So let's just see again. So I'm pendulating away and hip shuffle, right? Didn't quite get him on that one, so look there. I just grabbed this little pedal. Here's what we worked on a bunch before. Go ahead and get it. And that's, as you see, you can maintain that a little bit. So combine it with this pendulum away. Okay. Play with that. Add that hip movement after the pendulum. That makes sense? Yes, sir. Small, medium, I don't know. Segregation.
Kesa doesn't see size in my thing.
Yeah.
But you don't. That wasn't real.
Then move your head. Move your foot on the floor. Move your hips.
The logo was better.
Are you locking on this one now? Yeah. So what? It's still.
So it's like asking myself what you're doing. It's like, I know.
It's a chest range.
Like your pressure.
Look, and I just barely the base is making it work. If I go away and I fall into like that base, I switch my hips. Reset. Yeah, better. Well, you're doing the hip one. You're doing the continuum work. Just feel just do the first part. Just the pendulum. I give you no real pressure. It's Right. Now you need to reach out with that left foot. Yeah, but kind of curl it back in. And then like switch your hips and turn.
Yeah, I like my.
Right, so it's like that. Right. Yeah, but you're just kind of like when you did the pendulum, you're like you needed this to get the distance with your that reaching out and inverting that heel will help you a lot. Nice. After you link the hip shovel with the pendulum, then
I'm like lift it up. Yes. Like lift. And
see
there.
it.
Yes, sir.
It felt a lot more. It felt a lot easier. I thought I was getting stuck. I thought it feels like there's gonna be a sticking point. There is. With you especially. Yeah. I think that's where the
I somehow
calm down.
knee hurt in the face.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does that happen? We'll go back to the good side. I'm trying to implement like down.
See when you look,
So like I can move.
you got to move your hips towards the back
Well, no, like
and
trying
then
to come
switch.
to, like stay in jiu-jitsu class on Wednesday, boxing class on Wednesday.
I don't understand.
Have to.
See, you did that. Like you got to move. Like every time you try and sit up, you're sitting them up on your own side. Which means
Yep. I was trying to make you
yes.
do the
Now
Kesa,
try to sit up in there.
this other Kesa.
Cool. Okay. Before you were doing the pendulum, the hip shovel, and then both your thighs would pendulum back in. Right. So.
No, Wednesday night, after I teach my fitness class, I'm going to try to stay in and get the last power
Now-
boxing class. So, I'm trying to like,
Yeah.
you got it.
You're kind of like, oh, so.
I was like, mean enough to actually put real words. So like, I'm very light and like
Good. Do that again.
hip base.
Now omit the pause. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Well, don't. Now push his face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That part.
Hold him down on top of you so it's hard to come up. Right?
Yes.
That's like, and again, it's just like the subtlest of if I just turn your face away, it lifts weight up on it.
So somebody's in Kesa. We try to do that stack. And they flare their leg out and they kind of shift their weight where you can't set up.
Show me.
I would try to fight that by pivoting like that. So, but there's a counter escape you showed over.
Yeah, I will go into that.
Yeah.
Film inside. You know, this is.
And then get your elbow down.
Or I may go to cross facing and just walking the hips instead. Another thing a lot of my shit with is shoulder walking up here. So shoulder walk instead of trying to hip escape. Right? Does that make sense?
And
Well,
I've walked with it.
just like basically when you start moving and
so I
people
remember I was
fall,
like, that's gonna be like a.
like a pattern of movement.
Okay.
Right? So it's like I could then bridge and change the direction to here instead of back.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Or saying that's the same idea.
I'm gonna have to.
But I gotta kind of catch it in your most of our stages. Have a cursory movement to that. The escape for that's like second. Right? Like it's yeah, even when you're just walking your hips away, it's not always like turn on the side first. Okay, guys. Is that making some sense?
Yes,
First class bag.
if I was the leader of a cult, there would be worshiping at the number 3. I would have all of these ways that 3 was awesome.
And then he was like, and we're teaching things. Right?
I'm cool.
Yeah. Like, well, yeah. But then he made some other, it's like, if you pay a guy to tell you what you can and can't wear,
Why are you guys wearing?
Christopher, all right. They're a member of a subcult that.
Listen, I'm like a rebel. I'm like, oh, you want me to wear white? I'm gonna tie dye Mikey.
I don't mismatch.
The only time I'm like
That's
super
good.
reverent is like Hickson. Like,
Oh no,
you're
no,
wearing
you do what
white,
that
bro,
means.
and I'm like,
And how is that?
a really, really cool state right there. The big thing I like about that is like you're getting crushed in Kesa pendulum way, you can breathe. That's the biggest thing I like about it. You can't just chain it with that outside hip shot, right? And it's just kind of easier to do a sit up style escape. There's a lot of sit, right? That's just a way to do it. So I was talking with them, like sometimes I'm just shoulder walking, like I'm on my shoulders and I'm just doing this. Right? This was just like fundamental movements, right? A hip shovel's just where we switch our hips one side and back the other. Think about that like the knee elbow has that component to it. Okay. Let's shift gears here a little bit and work some from the top position. Okay. We're just gonna set up a knee on the right? And over the last, my most personal recent evolution is that for the longest time I didn't squeeze them. That was my last evolution, right? Now I might do an even less where I don't even put my hands together, right? Like some people do this. Some people do this. I don't even do that anymore. Okay? I use my hand out like this. Now, context and preference on these other things. I never like to do it this way, right? I always gravitated towards this. If you like those ways, cool, that's fine. I'm going to show it a little different ways. Okay? So this is the same way. The side difference in side control I finish. Okay, so we'll just kind of set it up from, right? And the big thing that I focus on now precedes what most people would see as the technique. It's distribution of weight. Find that perfect position with my shoulder. And then I'm going to drop it. Then I'm going to tie. And I think that the fatal flaw, and some people can still do things like this and squeeze and sit through in position and clock. It's like you can, with your weight distribution or with your positioning, and still get a lot. That's a negative reinforcement, right? The goal of the art is for the submissions to be as effortless as possible, right? And then we talked about this in the last class. We did this same sort of conversation from when we're doing Young Belly. Is most black belts know when they have a choke and know when they don't, right? And both are information for you to be able to proceed. If you don't squeeze, you can always make adjustments. If you're squeezing super tight, you can, right? So that's kind of some of the ideas. So this is on arm triangles, sometimes our part is getting what you already have in Kesa. Okay? So look what I'm going to do here. I'm going to saw that back and punch it over. Okay? Now, I'm backing up. I already feel his chin. Right? So, I need to be sure I'm behind that chin as much as possible with my shoulder. Okay? And then look. look how I'm going to go away from his hip a little bit, but everything is driving. Okay. Before, some of the way I was doing it was predicated on stopping your defenses. This is good. If you try and bridge, it makes it tighter. Right? I used to always seek to fall under people's shoulder, like my weight distribution in during the show. Like this. Right? And that works pretty well. But again, what I'm feet and this hand is driving all of my weight into the choke this other way.
And there's no squeeze.
No squeeze. I just have this. Yeah, I'm just grabbing. Okay. Here. All right, that's a pretty good set, but then like look how I'm driving forward and in and up. So it's like this. This is the direction of the pressure. So what I saw over the years is people here and he'll tap eventually, but it's like
I mean, I've had that full set.
yeah. Again, some of it becomes more crankish. Like the longer I do this, you go unconscious every time. All right, like, that's how I see jokes. Like it's isn't that very cool? Like that's the thing too. But it's like, well, I'm like really trying to express the essence of this. It's like you would have gone. If my squeeze or body position didn't crank in a way. So, several of the throws we were doing, guys, we landed right. So let's just recall that. But like from Kesa, if you just hear that underhook and start pushing it over,
And then across my face and not just up, right?
I don't care. I don't really. I just been pushing it over because everything. I got that back actually way up. I'm gonna sit this through here, and then look. It's almost like that downward pressure we were talking about with the sprawl. Weight's dropping down.
Yeah.
I'm driving. This hand's free. He's dying. These are all good things. Alright.
Like how Bane posted where he's like has this guy locked in her naked for like a minute. The guy's standing up, and I'm like, dude, he needs to work with Jack. I can't say anymore. I was just gonna say he needs to work with Jack because like when Jack was all about that rear naked choke, it was just like
That's all I can do.
yeah.
Like, rear naked's a great example. You know, one time I was talking about this big whole big
Very good. I'll just say about how he finished the show.
So I got this.
Yeah. Go back a foot. Like that can work. Like saw your elbow back in the crook of her elbow.
Did I get it? I have.
That just ensures you
No
can like,
squeeze.
get back up on the inside. If she has a body lock, I break the body.
I was all the way over your
You're usually
Well, and you had like a more like
you can think
Okay, grab her. Okay, so grab her.
so well, you're usually this part
Okay, now drop your head and everything down.
under
Take the press it in. Yeah. You felt that though, right? It doesn't matter if I'm doing ski on belly.
Well, I
down,
reset too to get under because I felt there, and so I helped
back and under.
back and under.
See, if you're squeezing,
Grab
you
my
can't
lap.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing for me. It's like, now I'm doing even less. I make subtle adjustments.
You were pushing like up and into my chin this way. Think about yes, because you're fighting my chin and not my neck there.
I was just saying,
It
we talked a little bit about
wasn't as
sitting
good as
on the
Brian,
ball.
but I don't. It still felt like you were squeezing.
Now, versus like you went on your hips.
Yes.
No.
Look, it's all.
Go back, yeah. Do it.
I just like that's the again. This I'm most passionate about. This one.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, better to have the chin.
No, it's always fun.
Did you do that beard?
Yeah, a little bit. I felt
Like
that
a anaconda.
underneath. Yeah, that same thing that I was like missing. Weird.
Lose a contact.
Yes. Yeah.
Do what?
Huh?
Yeah, it's like they're shooting an anaconda movie and it actually becomes anaconda. It actually looks good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that grabbing the lap makes a subtle.
Grab, it goes. Yeah. It's because I'm just.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're grabbing the lap.
I don't know what I want. I'll just go above and then I'll shoot low. Okay.
You're still pushing into my chin. There. Now you're my neck.
Yeah.
No.
The right one was still.
You're squeezing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels like you're squeezing. And I don't know why.
And I am gonna go on the other side. So I'll stand up over there.
Oh my.
All right. So look, come up off that knee, but don't bring. Just like this.
Oh.
Think like
It's like I've had a conversation.
right? That head weight off the mat, but I like everything else. Yeah. See, I want that weight going into the choke. I had to take the only points of contact I'm really gonna have on the mat for my this hand. But those are the things that are driving into the choke.
I was going to sleep. His felt like I was going to pop my head off. So much more efficient.
I don't think I'm getting to your back with my shoulder like you did.
Well, see, part of that is like I don't have it. So I really go back and then down. Right?
Like all of this felt good. It was almost like the angle.
Here's another thing. All right, guys, time. I tried to kind of mark on this a little, and I said this earlier. It's like you're a black belt and you know you have the choke, and you know you don't. Well, imagine if you're not in either one of those things. Yeah, all right, because you're getting close. I think particularly the early, because you don't know if you have it and you don't know if you start questioning yourself, right? And it's kind of weird because I feel like chokes are the main thing people do, right? And then you'll fumble the. Try and shut all that up, right? Here's the thing, like, sometimes if you don't have it in the capacity we're talking about today, they still gonna tap because you were cranking their head and kind of single blood choking them and fumbling around. And so it was a shitty version of the triangle when I was a white, blue, purple belt. Okay? Right, Kimura's, everything just gets better the longer you do this. Okay? And again, some people like to set through, some people like the arm triangle, some people like the palm to palm, some people like this. Right? Just however you like to get in there, just like I took it, whatever you like to do, not here to change that. Said it at the last seminar I trained with him every time I train. Says at the beginning, all of his DVDs. He's like, you grip, I grip this way, hook grip. He's like, if you grip this way, this will grip. I ain't here to stop. Right? Whatever works for you. That's what we're all here. Any questions on that show? Okay. But if you don't know if you have it, probably don't. That much further driving into them away. Like I kind of know. I'm like, right? But don't doubt. Just progress forward. If you start having to squeeze and do things, like okay, you definitely won't. They would attack back. I used to tell everybody, if you're on a submission for 8 seconds and they don't tap, go to something. Particularly chokes. Chokes, they should go out in 3. Right? Okay, let's get some rolling in. We'll we want to do multiple rounds. We want to do a 10-minute. You rolling for it? 10-minute round or threes?
Let's go 10.
One 10-minute round.
You remember that one time I got it and they're not trying to tell me that single blood chokes were a real thing?
Joey Fields, I remember.
Who's that? Oh yeah.
He's in the Brian Wilson Rolodex, so I'm never gonna believe this guy.
He's like, that's not a real thing. I'm like, actually, let me tell you 3 different examples of a real thing.
I know you're gonna get
Next show.
Oh, so he had this video where he like had this guy set and he made a joke. It was like a minute long video.
Oh, the one he got
The dude
tapped with?
standing up, like,
Yeah,
fighting,
that's.
just like, if he
Well, that's technically.
for, like, 10 minutes, like
Yeah, it's
you
just
to stand up,
That's technically
do
not
dishes,
like
you know,
Yeah,
take
it's
the dog
not
for
a-
walk, you know, like.
bilateral
Joke.
strangulation. And that's like
But then it would like obviously
that's a body.
you know, like geez. But like imagine if he had
Yeah,